Hi, and welcome to Anne Marie's Workshop. My name is Anne Marie, and I like to make things. If you like to make things, you are in the right place. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I'll tell you what's been going on around the workshop after the forum topic. Okay, so the forum topic this week is, what are your favorite sewing books? And as a librarian, I absolutely love this topic. Now, my first favorite book is Nancy Zieman's 10, 20, 30 Minutes to Sew. This book really changed my life. I stopped seeing sewing as a time where you had to sit down at the beginning and see if you can, as much sewing as you could get in as possible until you got the garment finished, and it created all this anxiety and took away from the love of sewing. But Nancy, what she did was that she broke down all different little pieces of sewing into 15 minutes, 10, 20, or 30-minute blocks. So you could put in a zipper in half an hour. You could sew a shoulder seam in 10 minutes and stuff like that. And I started seeing things differently, and I started completing items. It was mind-shifting. Now, my next favorite book is Sandra Betzina's Fabric Savvy. I use this all the time to look up the type of fabric. It tells you when you figure out the fabric, it has things like how to pre-shrink it, the layout, marking, cutting, interfacing, what kind of needles you need, the thread, how to finish the seams, which is how I ended up being a French seam junkie. Pressing, top stitching, closures, hems. Then it would have a picture. It is like my encyclopedia, because especially here in Jamaica, sometimes when I buy fabric, it's in a section with knits, it's in a section with cotton blends, it's in a section with viscose, but it doesn't tell you what the content is. The only reason I can get content is when I order online. Now, my next book is Couture Sewing Techniques by Schaeffer, which I have made a couple of her patterns, but it's another source of information to help you when you're working on trying to up your game. I mean, showing you how to do these sort of finishes and everything like that. Well, as you can see, I still have the bookmark in it. I use it all the time, especially when you're making something tailored, the underpinnings, how to make something have movement, this is the one. When you want to up your game, this is a great book for that. Now, for you quilters, I have the Weekend Quilter and I've got the Lazy Quilter. And these were filled with patterns of quiltings that you could do in a weekend, because I love to quilt. But when I had young kids, I really did not have the time for the intricate small pieces. And this book and my other three books were filled with ideas of quilts that you could make that gave you that pop, that gave you an opportunity to work with cottons and colors and everything, but it's something that you could finish within a reasonable time. Here they are, I found them. I have made this quilt. I've made a number of other quilts in size. As you could see, they're well used. I think I've made over 30 or so quilts, and these books started me off. It made it less intimidating, and I was able to be successful at quilting. And so till I get to the stage where now I like to make art quilts with lots of handwork and intricate pieces and stuff like that. But they really, when I was starting maybe 30 years ago, they really helped me up my game and get started. Now, this book isn't really a sewing book. It's Color Me Beautiful, and the reason why I included it on my favorite books is it helped me stop wasting time. There was no reason for me to make that chartreuse jumpsuit when I don't look good in chartreuse. It helped me learn my navy. It brought my navy, my browns, my cream, even though I'm not supposed to do white. It helped me not waste time. It helped me concentrate it on the fabrics, because you know, I love fabric and I can get overwhelmed with fabric. But over the years, I became more disciplined about what worked for me. And if I loved a fabric that I wanted to buy so badly, it also let me clue me into, hey, that would work on my daughter. That would work on a friend. So it helped me be more generous in my sewing, because I think a lot of times when I was tight with my sewing is because I had so little time with children and husband and work and everything like that. So I really was guarding my time and my ability to express myself in fabric. And so this really clarified. It's classic. I know there's other programs where people will take you through it, but this was a changer for me in the 80s, long time ago. Now, as for what else was going on in the workshop this past week, I had a funeral yesterday, so that took me to Deep Woods, Jamaica. High altitudes, interior, walking straight up. I'm still recovering a little bit from it today, but it kind of took a day off the week, as it should. And the day before, I had company. Y'all remember what that was? People came over, family members, friends, stayed overnight, talked, heard stories. Well, that actually happened to me. Thank the Lord, it was so wonderful. My aunt and my uncle came to stay with us the night before, and then the morning we took off to deep country to bury my dearest cousin's mother, who passed away a couple weeks ago. So I wouldn't have missed that for anything. That was amazing. I saw the homestead from which all of this stuff has happened from, my great-great-great-grandmother's homestead. All right, so before that, what had happened was I had printed off 4 PDF patterns that I had wanted to explore. I wanted to spend this month clearing up some of the Christmas, which I'm going to do every month, as well as work on some PDF patterns because I love them. I bought them. All right. So the very first one I cut out was the Valley by Pattern Fantastique. And I cut out the pattern, and this is the fabric that I will be cutting it out in, which I think is like a beautiful linen blend that I got from Fabric, I believe. All right, and that's one. And so the next pattern that I pieced together and cut out was Etta by Merchant Mills. It is a very loose-fitting wrap dress. I really love the pictures on the site. I'm very, very hopeful that it looked good on me. I have a little reservation because sometimes those big billowy dresses look wonderful on those tall, thin models, but sometimes can look frumpy on a short, wide woman, so I'm a little concerned, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I cut it out in this beautiful blue and white cotton blend that I got from Ping's Fabric in Mandeville. It's a tiny bit of a stretch, so I know it's not a completely 100% cotton, but I think it's light enough. I think it'll do the job. All right. I also pieced together and cut out the pattern pieces for this assembly line for the box pleat dress. I haven't chose the fabric that I want to make it with, but since I was watching a movie and piecing everything together, I did this one. I also did this. This is a free pattern, So Well. It is the Move to Tears maxi skirt. When we had that challenge, So Frugal challenge, I came across this company. Now you can donate. You don't have to take it for free. You can give a little to the person who designed it. So I did that. I cut that out. I have something in mind. We'll see. And my pattern came in last week from eBay because I had an empty pattern envelope. You know how that is. You think you have the pattern, and then all you find is the envelope. And the rest of the fabric I needed to make my son's Christmas robe. I had already cut out the pants, and now everything's together. So sometime this week, I will cut them together and hopefully finish the whole thing by by Christmas. I've got plenty of time. I think I'll be okay. All right, the next thing I cut out, try not to crinkle, is Butterick 5362. I had this 100% polyester 1960s pop Italian looking print that I wanted to work on, and I cut it out in this, and I also cut it out in a border print that I got from Fabric Mart. I chose them because they flutter, and this pattern is wonderful with a border print. I have made this in Ankara border print, but this is my first time using it in a silky print. I think it's going to be very pretty. I also cut out McCall's 5232. I had to order this from eBay because once again I had an empty envelope that I think I lost in moving here to Jamaica. So it's been over 3 years. So I went ahead and ordered it again. I wanted to do this. Apron right here, and I got my fabric to make this apron for my friends for Christmas and friend and family. I think it's going to be fabulous. This fabric, one of my subscribers told me that this fabric is called Santa's Helpers, and I got it off of fabric.com. All right, so I cut out about 7 of those. I had enough fabric for that. And my last thing, well, my next to last thing is I had fabric left over from that border print that I showed you earlier. Let me see if I can, oh, here. This is what that border print looks like all out. It has the deep ocean, then the palm trees, and it goes to all the way up to the top to little lighthouses. Very pretty. I think it's going to be very fluttery. And I cut it out in the dress I showed you before. Hold on. Just a reminder, sorry about the crinkle. I cut it out in this, but I had enough left over, and it was a border print, and I had this idea. I flirted with it before. I wanted to extend the Ogden cami into a dress. So we'll see how it turns out. So I cut it out this week. The Ogden cami, which is one of my all-time favorite patterns of all time, and I extended it into a dress. So we'll just have to stay tuned and see how that worked out. Now, the last thing I worked on is complete that I can show you was the York Pinafore by Helen's Closet. I did this one right here. It is a love make or a Christmas gift for my eldest daughter who loves to garden. I had this really beautiful blue poplin-like fabric, and it gave me an opportunity to play. So I added this beautiful rainbow bias tape on the edge, and then I was able to use my embroidery machine, which is why I bought it for, right? So I was able to actually add a sunflower, because she raises sunflowers in her backyard. She had some wonderful ones this year, and so I added that to the center. I think she'll like it. The pockets are ginormous. I think she's gonna like it. And so it's ready to go. I'm gonna pack it up, and it's gonna be one of the things I'm gonna fold up and package and put under her Christmas tree. Now, early in the week, I filmed my July makes. And so therefore, if you want to take a look at that, it's coming out next Wednesday. And oh, and thank you for the people who answered the poll about how long my videos are, and that overwhelming majority said, keep them long. All right, no problem. Some of the other videos I make are sometimes smaller, but the makes and the sew-alongs tend to be long. And I'm sorry, but it's the only way I can do them without breaking them apart. So anyway, when I started to do those makes videos, one of the things I did was separate the petticoats from the dresses I had made for Ankara week. And I do have a problem now. Now these petticoats are humongous. Okay, there's one. Here's number two. Wow. I have to figure out where to put them. So in the comments, I would appreciate any suggestions. What I'm thinking of doing is, I have this beautiful thimble hook. I'm thinking of making them part of my ambiance in my sewing room. So I'm thinking of adding this to the wall over there and hooking them on high up in the air like a piece of artwork, because they can't stay in my closet. They've got too much to say. They're taking up too much space. All right, once again, thank you to Sew Creators. I'll put an acknowledgement of, I think it's Janine or Jenny, I'm not sure. At the bottom here, it's a Facebook group who created the Fridaysews. I love it. It keeps me abreast of what I've done, because sometimes in retirement, the days are just rolling by. You know, I was walking down the stairs this morning and was like, wait, it's Friday. So I just wanted to say thank you for this forum. And I love seeing what other people do. I look for that hashtag Fridaysews. And I hope you all are having safe and a wonderful summer. And keep making, and we'll see you next Friday.